this video with your mom or dad. Up next is a recap of all of the supplies that we just got. Please make sure that you have an adult with you. And make sure you're learning how to be responsible.
Hi, boys and girls. Mabel and I are here to recap on all of the things that we talked about this morning during our morning meeting and the supplies that you guys brought home. Are you ready? One thing you have to know as an online superhero is you have to be responsible, Mabel. Responsible? What does that mean? I want to be responsible. Listen closely, Mabel. Responsibility means you are in charge of you. That's right, Maui. Responsibility is very important, boys and girls, and no one at home is responsible for you besides you when it comes to your supplies. You can be responsible for these if you learn to use them the right way. Your superhero desk should always look like this. We have our 3 folders, our math book, our popcorn bin, and our supply bag. You hear that? And just some water if you have a lid, because technology can be damaged by water. But water is important to keep our brains moving. Down below are some supplies that we should always have nearby. Maybe a sticky note pad and some crayons. Miss Young will always use colors, so make sure you have something to color with. Everything else, I got it covered. And here we go. Now, we talked about always having the folder on top based on the class that you're in. Now, the folder that you guys picked out and we made special for you is your small group folder. So when you're logging into your small groups, orange group, red group, blue group, green group, yellow group, when you're logging in, make sure that's on top of your pile. You hear that? Our next one is our Navy folder. This Navy folder should always be right on top during our morning meetings as a whole class and our afternoon meetings as a whole class. Our Navy folder is our whole tribe, our class tribe, and we talked about maybe talking about the Navy like the Army. And inside is something we will need for our morning time and our afternoon time. Now, we talked about this morning, and I said, don't do anything except one thing. What? Oh, thank you. Except one thing, which is write your name on the highlighted line that Miss Young highlighted for you. Your name is very important. Now, right here, Miss Young wrote some directions. And when you see some directions as an online superhero, always ask someone around you to read them to you so that you know what Miss Young wants you to do. Now, this is blank. Other than that, feel free to decorate your morning work packet because starting tomorrow on Wednesday, she wants you to complete the next page before our morning meeting. Miss Young will check hers with yours live. So that means tomorrow when you wake up, we have our morning meeting at 9 o'clock. Before 9 o'clock, you need to open up to your first page. And you are going to try what you know before our morning meeting. And then I will start our morning meeting every morning by going over my answers with yours. And if you are unsure, that is your chance to fill it in. All right? So our morning meeting goes on that side. And then our afternoon meeting is when we'll also get our Navy folder back out. And this is in our afternoon meeting folder, and we are going to be tracking how many days we're in school and talking a little bit more about our calendar. And you guys will have that right out in front of you to pull out. This is a secret message that we will be doing together, but we'll keep that safe tucked in for now. During our morning and afternoon meetings, Maui and Mabel, do you guys know what's on top? Did you say the Navy folder or the baby folder? The Navy folder. So when we're logging into our morning and afternoon meetings, that is on top. Last but not least, we have an orange folder. Hello, Writer's Workshop folder. This is our Writer's Workshop folder, and we will be talking more about this as a class, but let me just take a sneak peek with you right now. There's nothing on the inside, on this side, and that's because when we start our next book, we're going to put that book right here. The book we're working on during Writer's Workshop always goes right here. We only work on one book at a time because we like to do our best. Now, as you can see, something's falling out of it, and it says Student Office on it. We saw how to set this up when we need this, if you came yesterday. Ta-da! And Miss Young will be talking more about this later, so we'll just stick that inside. We now have some anchor charts as well. Anchor charts are something that Miss Young would have posted in our classroom. Now she has them right here for you guys to use along with her while we're learning. If I flip all the way to the back, I now have a pocket with 10 books in here. We have not started our next book, so please don't start it without me until we get there. But you have 10 blank books, and we know that this is where our book goes when we start one. So when we get there, that's where it will go. And we can store our student office just like this. And those are our 3 folders. Now, in addition to our 3 folders, boys and girls, we also have a math book now. And in this math book, we are going to be using these during our afternoon meetings. So to get set up for our afternoon meeting, always make sure that this is close by. All right? Inside this math book, if you look really closely, do you see this, boys and girls? If you see this, I want you to play with that. I have a special bookmark in there. It's going to help you to do this. Isn't that cool? I folded it a special way, and I want you to do me a favor. Keep that folded. Don't play with it because it's our bookmark. Now, these 2 different sides stand for 2 different things. I'm going to open it up for you guys so you can see. Now, on this first side, hold on one moment. Perfect. Okay, now I had to get some sticky notes. I always use those when I'm talking and explaining. This first side, we can do any time we want, boys and girls. You guys have already learned this with Miss Young, and this is great practice work for you throughout your day. Now, that's on this side. This side, don't do it without Miss Young. This side, we wait for Miss Young, and we do with Miss Young because starting today, we're going to do this first chapter, and we will go in order. Okay, so this side of a bookmark, stop and do with Miss Young, page 179. This side of your bookmark, do at any time, not during live class when Miss Young is talking, but any time at home to practice. It is very important to be responsible, superhero. And being responsible means you are in charge of your supplies. This needs to always be by your laptop. It needs to be in a safe spot, but always have it close by because Miss Young might ask you to get something from it and you need to have it right there with you, along with all of your other stuff to be prepared. Okay, so being responsible means you are in charge of all of the things that are inside here. I am going to dump these out, but I don't ever want you to dump it out. We only take out one thing at a time normally. So here it goes. We're getting it on video. I'm dumping it out. I just made a mess. Besides this little person, keep that little person in there, but don't touch it or even pull him out. We want to keep him safe and not bent until November when we talk about our project. Okay, so now that I've dumped it all out, let's quickly discuss what's inside so that you know what you're responsible for, okay? It's important to keep it inside the bag. We have 3 total pencils, boys and girls. We don't ever take all 3 pencils out at the same time. We keep one right here when we're ready to meet with Miss Young, and we keep the other 2 right here because we know they're ready to go if one of them breaks. Our next writing tool is a pen, and we will talk about how we're going to use this NAU pen later. So keep it in your bag, but just so you know, when we use this pen, we want to make sure it's unclicked and we don't have any ink sticking out. Okay, responsible superhero? Our next writing tool that we'll talk about later is a highlighter. Keep that safe in there until we talk about it. We also, at the bottom of our bag, have a silver crayon, and you are responsible for keeping that safe inside your bag until we need it. Our Halloween-themed notepad is something Miss Young might ask you to grab out when she's asking a question. Please do not use this without Miss Young. She might ask you to turn to the next page in your notepad, and you need to have it blank and ready to go. You also have some 10 frame cards. Please be responsible, superheroes, and make sure this bag is closed. And you can even fold it so that you can tuck it safely in your supply bag, like so. You have another bag with 10 counters, which are these red and yellow things. And you also have 5 pattern blocks, which are those squares. We have a total of 15 items in this bag, and this is a zip and close. We need to be gentle with it when we're zipping and closing it to be responsible. And we could also fold it and stick it in our supply bag to keep it nice and organized, okay? Inside there, we use this in our small groups already, some of us, is our dice. Do not ever take it out of your container. Don't take the lid off ever. In fact, if you mess with the lid, the container might start to break. So look at this as a whole unit and it will go just fine, okay? Now when we use this, we shake it and then we put it flat on a desk. And we look at the number that we rolled, okay? Keep it safe in your supply bag until Miss Young tells you to get it out. She also has a pointer in there. Make sure you keep it safe until you learn how we'll use it. And last but not least, she stuck a big eraser in there for our growth mindset, right? Mistakes are proof that we are trying. Mistakes are a chance to grow. We like mistakes, even if it means we have to erase them. So always keep this close by as well. But when you're finished with live class, make sure that you put your pencil and your eraser back in your supply bag so it doesn't fall out. All right, superheroes. Do you feel like you could be responsible at home? I think you can. And don't forget, if you got those cards yesterday from me, to dump those in. We have 25 words in there, and we will be talking more about those. What? Aloha. Oh, I almost forgot. The last thing in our supply bin is our one word. All of us got a word, a different word. Can you hold it up if you're watching this video? Find it in your supply bag and say, "Hello, word. I am going to get to know you, word. You are my word." All right. We're going to safely put that back in our supply bin. And I like to slide it down to make sure it doesn't get bent. Get that nice organized supply bin. Okay, let's try this again. Are you ready, Mabel? Are you ready, Maui? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Aloha.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. The show, Miss